I want to let women know that this next post might be triggering. Sometimes people have feelings where there might be a gray area where consent might have been implied or is implied because you are in a relationship. But what I'm about to read is not right. So I'm about to read this, but it could quite possibly be triggering. This woman says, my husband sexually humiliated me. She says, hey guys, I'm looking for some advice because I cannot talk to friends and family about this. So me and my husband got into a small argument over our work and school schedules because it was colliding and we have children. He made it seem like it was my fault that we were having issues with our schedules, and I was the one brainstorming and making suggestions on how we can fix the situation. Anyway, we were sitting on the couch. The kids were asleep. We were cuddling after the argument, and I thought everything was okay. He started saying degrading stuff like how he gets bad females but doesn't decide to cheat. Okay, so maybe he's saying he didn't decide to cheat, and how I take care of him and he doesn't have to do anything. I was so shocked I didn't have time to process what he said. Mind you, at this very moment, I was laying on his chest thinking everything is okay. He then brushes me off him and pulls down his pants, grabs my head, and forces me to go down on him. I was telling him I didn't want to do it, and he didn't care. I did it and I felt so humiliated and violated. I was in shock. I still am. I'm thinking maybe I'm overthinking it and it's not that serious. He briefly mentioned it 3 days after it happened that he was just trying to put me in my place. I feel like my self esteem is like down the drain. This is not the first time he's done this. He forced me to have sex with him after an argument like 4 years ago, and we talked it out. But for some reason, this made me feel worse than the first time. I feel like this is what he wanted. Now he talks to me like he's in full control since this happened, and I've been on edge. We just got married 4 months ago. Sorry for the long post. What should I do? I don't understand why he would want me to feel so low and messed up like this. He's using this as a control tactic. This is his behavior to shape your behavior. He didn't get exactly what he wanted while you guys were having a discussion, and he used his peen as a weapon to force you into submission. He's going to continue to do this because he's used this as a weapon before. This is not right. This is not how you handle conflict in a relationship. This will only get worse. This person says, your husband raped you. I'm sorry to be blunt, but that's the truth. Your husband being your husband does not give him ownership over your body, and no still means no. It may be difficult to press charges in this situation, as courts are still not terribly friendly to marital rape claims, but you should absolutely use it as grounds for divorce. This will not be the last time he does something like this. This woman says, I once had a judge told me that your husband can't grape you and to suck it up. So yeah, this is a hard one to fight. I'd find a lawyer in this situation. He will continue to do this until you hate yourself. You need to get out now. This person says, put you in your place. What? Excuse me, but neither of you are property. It's time to get away from him. This isn't going to improve. That comment was extra sickening. What is wrong with people? This person says you are absolutely not overthinking this. He sexually assaulted you and you are in an abusive relationship. Nobody can tell you what to do, but I would suggest you contact a divorce lawyer immediately at minimum. This is only going to get worse. I wish you the best. He's a piece of and you deserve more. This person says you're not overthinking it. Your husband SA'd you. This person says this is full on grape. Get out. This will not change, and that man does not deserve you or any other woman for that matter. It does not matter if you're married or not. Grape is grape. I would look into removing yourself from that situation if you can. If you have cameras in the house, see if you can pull the footage of him forcing himself on you like that. I say this because our house has cameras everywhere, but in the bedroom. Please, for your own safety, get out. I'm very glad that we have social media. There's no gray area in this. Um, it will only get worse. So many women ignore it, but this red flag is waving, and we have got to get comfortable with putting ourselves first and leaving at the first sign of abuse. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. This whole body count conversation is silly because no matter what the woman's number is, if it's higher than zero, women will be shamed for simply enjoying our bodies. So I want to read this true off my chest. The woman deleted her profile, but the post is still there. She said, "My boyfriend looked at me with disgust when I told him my past. We were just hanging out, and all of a sudden he asked me my body count. He just told me he was curious and asked. I told him the amount, and he said, wow. I asked him about his, and he said it was about the same, but he also said he was older, so it's not much compared to me. He then continued to question me. He asked me about my first time, and I told him what it was like. I was 16 and stupid and was with someone I met online. I should have kept my mouth closed after that, but I also told him that it was my first time, but I was way sexual before that. I shouldn't have said anything, but I told him I was 11 when I started talking to guys. The way he looked at me with horror and disgust. He said it was late and he needed to go and left. I felt terrible as soon as I said it. I know I was a bit of a you know what from a young age, but I feel like I'm better now with him. Now that's all ruined. I know I'm not a good person, but I thought I could at least find someone who would love me." Her edit. I appreciate everyone commenting. I'm sorry this sparked an outrage. It wasn't my intention. With everything being said, I know my boyfriend was not at wrong for how he feels. I'm gross and have no probability of being in a committed relationship or even married. I've always wanted to get married, but I see now I have to own up to my past actions. Honestly, I don't know what to do now. I'm not sure if I'm worth life anymore knowing how bad I screwed up, but that's nothing. I'm sorry I made everyone feel a strong emotion. Thank you for telling me your opinion and letting me see another perspective. It is wild that somebody is made to feel like this with this body that we've been given. Sex is a normal part of life. And we live in such a purity type of culture to where when women have this, we're made to feel bad. Like this is terrible. She doesn't think that she's worthy anymore, that she shouldn't be alive anymore. Those are some big leaps based on, oh my goodness, this is a terrible situation. And I really hope that we can move away from making women feel bad about having sex. If women choose not to have it, cool. But if we choose to have it, I, beating someone down like this is not the thing. This is not the thing to be doing. And women, we have got to move away from seeking validation from men. So someone asked, was he disgusted because of you or because you were probably groomed? And she said, I think it was me. He looked me up and down before he left. This person says, flippin' heck. For starters, stop talking so negatively about yourself. You're only 20 and you have your whole life ahead of you. Being young is about being horny, stupid, and making mistakes. You've acknowledged your mistakes and are learning from them. That's life. I wish I was young enough to make some of those mistakes again. That's for sure. Secondly, this dude is trying to use this issue, it's not an issue, against you to try to make you feel worse about yourself than you already do. You seem to have confidence issues. And trust me, at 33, this dude noted this long ago. He will use this and try to gain control over you if he hasn't already. Because she's 20 and he's 33. This must have come out in the comments because it's not in the post. He says, don't be surprised if his next behaviors are used to belittle you and outside of the bedroom, so he can gain more power over you than his age and status probably already affords. He will sell it in many small packages of gaslighting, pressuring, personal and self esteem, and security issues. But if things get heated, he'll always be there to remind you that you're lucky to have them. You're really not. It's really quite the opposite. Yes, they are using women's body counts as a way to like shame you into submission. And I don't like the way that this is being used. That's the reason why anything above zero, telling a man anything above zero is going to lead to this. This person says, hun, he's 33, you're 20, break up with him. This is some toxic ish. This person says, WTF, 33 and acting like that? Yeah, OP, break up with him and don't waste your time. I have never really liked these big age gap relationships. There's already an inequality in power dynamics. 33, you've lived so much longer. 20, your brain is not fully developed. You haven't lived long enough. You're malleable, but that is what they want. They want a woman that is malleable so they can create the woman that they want. I don't like this, but you guys go ahead and jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.